Hi everyone! What is both relaxing and frustrating, cheap and ridiculously expensive, fun and practical? Crochet. My history with yarn all began when I was about 6 years old. My mother was an avid crocheter, so there were always little balls of yarn like this around our house that were too small for her to do anything with, so we were allowed to keep it. I can remember by the time I was 8 or 9, I would make outfits around my Barbie dolls so that they would fit right. I had the most fashionable Barbie dolls on the block. But today I'd like to give you a brief introduction to the art of crochet and demonstrate a few basic stitches that will be used in almost everything that you can ever make. Yarn types vary, as do hooks. Now this is a heavyweight yarn. This is what we're going to be using in our example today just because I think it'll show a little better on video. And this is a worsted weight, which is probably the most common yarn that you're going to find anywhere. So we're going to start with a basic chain stitch. So we're going to start with a slip knot. So you're going to just make a simple slip knot. I think most of you probably know how to do that already. And we're just going to do a chain 5. A chain is just where you're grabbing the yarn and you are pulling it through into the hole that's already on your hook. Okay, so there's your chain. Super simple. Now, in order to do a single crochet, which is the next thing we're doing, we're going to take our hook and we're going to put it through the hole in the stitch right next to it. And my videographer got distracted today. He wasn't able to do things. So this is a little bit of a better idea from my side of what it looks like. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that up, and now you have 2 loops on your hook. So now you're going to pull it through both of those loops, and that is a single crochet. So here are your 2 loops that you have on the hook. And this shows you a little bit better where that hole that I'm talking about is. So we're just going to real quick do the rest of our row. Again, we're going to put it through here. We're going to pull through. Time constraints mean that I have to move a little faster than I would normally if I was teaching you how to crochet. I'm actually a pretty good teacher. I have taught several people how to do it. Now, when you're at the end of your row of single crochets, we're going to go on to a row of double crochets. In order to do that, you're going to chain 2. You always want to chain just so that you have a higher foundation row. And this is what it looks like, again, from my side. So here are just your 2 chain stitches at the end of your row. At that point, you're going to turn so that you have a fresh start. So here's our chain. Now you're going to yarn over and go in through that little hole right next to the crochet hook. You're going to have 3 loops on the hook now. You're going to pull it through the first 2 and then the second 2. So that's all you're going to do. You're going to go in through the hole next, which actually you can see a little bit better here what I'm talking about. Pull it through 2, through 2. So this is all you're going to do all the way across. Yarn over, insert it through, pull through, pull through, pull through. Yarn over, insert, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now, if I had kept going for the entire length of practices, I would have an entire scarf by now, but I don't. So what we're going to do is we're just going to finish it off. We're going to do a real simple finish off. We're going to cut it right there. You're going to loop it over the yarn, you're going to pull it through, and you're just going to pull it tight, and that is going to lock up your stitches. Then you'll take a yarn needle and you're just going to weave it in through the ends just to hide all of these, and then you'll cut off what's not necessary. You're better off leaving at least 2 or 3 inches just so that it doesn't work its way out. But basically, because all good things come to an end, we do finish things off like this. Now, I have made several things over my lifetime. I've brought a couple of examples here for you. The scarf that I'm wearing was made using the exact same stitches that we just did, just different variations of it and different quantities in each stitch. I recently made this little wrap, which I am very excited and can't wait to wear, except that it is, again, like 85 degrees, so that is not happening. Now, it can be very portable. I actually did a lot of crocheting. The Afghan behind me, I made in the car while waiting for my daughter to get out of kindergarten. She's 31 now. So, you know, I did that over the course of her kindergarten year, and this is what we came up with, and it's held up pretty well all these years. Now, yarn storage is also very important, especially if you have cats. This is Munchkin. Munchkin really likes yarn, but he doesn't like the cheap stuff. Munchkin likes the expensive stuff. You can see actually he is sitting in the Afghan that is behind me. Now, if you don't have cats, they make these darling baskets. These are super cute. I've got like 4 of them. I can't use them. Now, you may be thinking, put it in a bag and then put it inside of there. Well, that's all great in theory, except I don't know if you can see the hole in the bag where Munchkin chewed his way through. He really likes yarn. So I highly recommend that if you're going to store yarn in a house with cats, especially one that's got a 6-foot vertical leap, that you go with a nice box with a lid. It holds quite a bit of yarn, and you can have different sizes. I also have drawers where I keep the yarn just because it makes it a lot easier. But basically, crochet can be as simple or as difficult as you want to make it. Today I showed you just some very basic stitches. YouTube and Pinterest are filled with tutorials. You can learn to do just about every kind of stitch and every kind of every style of crochet. But basically, whether you choose the most delicate lace weight yarns or the nice bulky stuff that you found on clearance, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Do something that you love. If you don't like it, tear it out, start over. It's not rocket science, it's just yarn. We get one life. Live it to the fullest, and don't forget to hide it